Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to win him early, hear the truth. Tuning every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Quick style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
What's up, ChiefsKingdom? You are tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 210, Off the Upright. That's what we call this episode because that's how we won the game. Off the upright. Bank shot off the upright. Doink off the upright. Whatever you want to call it, that's how we won the game. But hope everybody's having a good day, good afternoon. Yeah, home, yeah, work, whatever you're doing. We just appreciate you tuning in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast to listen to us talk about our Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to talk about this game, talk about Chiefs being 9-time AFC West champions. We got a new signing, a return player from the past, and we're going to get into the number one seeding, a little bit in the playoff picture, and talk about some other things around the league. Maybe even get into the Browns a little bit too. But before then, Mark, what's going on, brother?
What's happening, man? I feel like it's been a minute since I've been on here, but it's still the same. We still on the same page, still winning, still winning divisions. Treating divisions as if it was just a regular game. I mean, it is what it is. Overreactions, all that stuff. I still kept in tune, but here the bottom line is they still at the top.
Still at the top. Still number one in the division. Well, all right, man, let's get into it, man. Chiefs win 19-7. Same score as the Raiders game. And this game pretty much went the same way. What's going on, Sam? But yeah, man, it went the same way, man, pretty much. You watch one Chiefs game, you're going to watch this the same old thing. They going to go through the motions in the first half. And look, going into the halftime, it was probably their best drive. When they was going up tempo, that was their best drive going down the field, and then he gets the touchdown to D-Hop, and the defense actually played decent in the first half. They didn't play too bad in the first half, other than Quentin Johnson looking like the second coming of Mike Williams in the Chargers jersey.
Always happens.
Every time we play Mike Williams, he would just kill us every time. He was doing the same thing. But Trent McDuffie actually had a really good game. He was balling, especially in that first half. He was really having a good game. But then in the second half, it just seemed like, Harbaugh and them made a few adjustments, and, Justin Herbert started getting things off. The pass rush still is a little bit of a problem. Turk Warden, he had a couple of sacks, but there were more coverage sacks. They weren't like he just got off the line and sacked Herbert. It was like, he couldn't find nobody open, and then finally Turk was right there to get him. But nevertheless, we hold him to 17 points, and what more can you ask for your defense? Yeah, did Herbert miss a couple guys in the end zone? Yeah, he did, but that's football. You're going to miss some guys, just like, Mahomes sometimes misses guys in the end zone, and sometimes he'll miss a guy open for the first down. That's just part of football. Guys are going to miss players. They're going to miss certain shots. Everything ain't going to be perfect. So, but at the end of the day, with this Chiefs team, we all know that if it's close in the fourth quarter and you give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes with 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, a minute left, you're going to lose the game. 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose the game because they just have a certain urgency, and they just know how to lock it down. We saw it in the Super Bowl. Things weren't going great in the Super Bowl. The offense wasn't rolling in the Super Bowl, but when it got into when it got really in the fourth quarter when we tied it up, and then when we got it to overtime and they had to kick the field, San Francisco kicked the field goal, and you give Patrick Mahomes the ball back, you already knew. As Chiefs fans, you should have known well, we about to win another Super Bowl back to back because you don't give the ball back to him because he has a certain level of urgency. Travis Kelce has a certain level of urgency that clutch gene just activates and it happens. And then we saw it in this drive too to kick the field goal. And shout out to Samaje Perine for the block on Derwin James on the on that pass, that jump pass to Xavier Worthy. Man, if he doesn't do that, Mahomes gets blasted and we possibly lose the game. If he doesn't we possibly lose the game because Derwin James was coming in like a missile. And if Samaje Perine doesn't make that block, that pass doesn't happen. But that kept the drive alive, the run from Mahomes, and then of course the when he comes around on the bootleg and dodges the linebacker. I forgot his name. I think his name is Henley or something like that. Number 0, he dodges him and then throws a little dump pass to Travis Kelce to get into range and pretty much milk the clock. And then kick the field goal, man. And what's his name? Matt. What's the dude's name?
Right.
Yeah, Matt Wright. Matt Wright kicks the field goal.
Right.
Yeah, it's the upright. And it was funny in the post game. You see Andy Reid tell Matt Wright, "Hey, next time kick it more right." You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was funny. What was your initial thoughts when you saw the football go up?
It's been like this all year. None of this surprises me anymore. I mean, all of it just pretty much goes in alignment, the fourth quarter comebacks, and even the stats pretty much just line up. I mean, everybody out there throwing it out there, talking about calling it luck and stuff like that. And I said this on your podcast yesterday. Look, you're talking about a team that's only given up 30 to one team in the last, ever since the Super Bowl against Philly.
Yeah.
Then you have the stat of 15 straight wins in one-score games. That's not luck. That's just a good team in great situational football. Regardless of what the roster looks like, we can talk about all the obstacles, brick hands, no hands, people out, whatever. It is what it is. Even talking about Pat Mahomes, there was a stat out there that had like quarterbacks like some where they had quarterbacks trailing going into the fourth quarter. Dude is 26-26. Now it sounds bad, you talk about the fourth quarter, but then when you look at the next closest quarterback, when you look at that stat alone, somebody's not even close to like 36% or something like that. And that's just comes to show you the greatness of Mahomes. Say what you want, but that's just the way they've been playing. That's just the way they've been doing it. I mean, I don't know why we talking about they should have did this, they should have did that. This is the same story last year. Let's just relax, pause, whatever. Just get through the season. They pretty much just toying with everybody right now, fan, non-fan, whatever it is. Now, the one thing that I will say though that I've appreciated in the last 2 games though is that they've been taking care of the ball a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
So like keeping a clean sheet. That was what stuck out to me in that game, regardless of what you want to see. There was balance and stuff like that as far as with the run and the pass game. I definitely did see that. I think as we get closer to playoff time and everything, you'll see. I mean, Pacheco, he is the motor, and then Kareem Hunt, he's going to be the one that kind of gives him a good change of pace. And of course, you want to see more consistency, more of that going, everything. Keep giving it to the hot hand. I get it, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Andy Reid, he's just going to dial up. He's just toying around with teams. As far as how they close, I mean, some of the things I did, like other things I did see, like you said, you already talked about how they close out the first half. That was something that they had been doing so well at over the past few years, is closing out halves and then make sure that they're taking care of the ball and whatnot. So you're seeing things come together slowly but surely. It's not the dominant team that everybody wants to see. Like, everybody want to see the Chiefs being what Detroit is doing. When Detroit trying to make a statement of their own, they got to put up 30, 40 some odd points and whatever. That's not who the Chiefs are, man. Let's just put a break. I mean, we enjoyed that the first 2-3 seasons or whatever. We seeing the defense doing what they do. The offense, let's come with it. They still experimenting. We're still experimenting with our offensive line in week 13, week 14. I mean, they're trying to address, the tackle situation. The only concern I would say, Mahomes has taken quite a few sacks in the last few games, so I'm pretty sure they're trying to figure that out. And that's why, we talk about these next few games.
And furthermore on that, like, look, I get it, Chiefs fans. You don't want to see your quarterback getting hit. You don't want to see him getting sacks. But those guys on the other side are world-class players too. Like Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, like those dudes, they're the number one. I think they're the number one scoring defense. So they have a really good defense over there.
Yeah, they do.
Like Chargers are just some trash. Like, even the week before, Max Crosby is really good. Now, the Chason dude is not that good. And I get why people were mad about that. But Wanye was just he's not healthy. He's working off of one leg pretty much, and you could just tell because Chason was he wasn't even doing no crazy moves. He was just swiping his hand out the way and just getting him home. So I get the frustration with that one. And look, we could talk about DJ Humphries. Yes, was it a little shaky in the first half? Of course. This is his first game last year. This is literally his mini camp, his OTAs, and his training camp right here. He's gonna have these next 4 weeks, and hopefully he's healthy enough to play on Sunday. But people were tripping. Oh, y'all rushed him too quick, dog. If he started 2 weeks from now, he would have cramped up probably because he ain't played football in a while. Like cramps happen because your body is not used to taking this much pounding. You know what I'm saying? Your body's not used to getting hit consistently. You blocking 275-pound men coming trying to hit your quarterback. Like you can't simulate that.
Plays. That's tough.
You can't simulate that. This is not like basketball where I can get a group of guys together and we can simulate some gameplay a little bit. Like you can't do that in football. You just gotta play. That's why it's a football shape, and you can be in the best shape in the world, but you can still be out of football shape. Like it's hard, man. This is a rough game. Like, and that's why. And I actually thought in the second half he started calming down a little bit and started playing a lot better. So I just think by the time the playoffs come, I think DJ Humphries is gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? And Taylor is Taylor. I get it. People don't like Taylor because his stances, and he kind of does tip off the defense when we about to pass the ball because of the way he stands. And so they make adjustments and they know, it's a pass play, so we will send the rush. So they know the way he stands, and that's just something you got to live with Taylor. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I think Humphries is gonna be fine now. And I know y'all don't want to hear this, but furthermore, in pass protection, it ain't just the tackles. Trey be getting his ass kicked too. Tooney and Creed, like they getting rushed up the middle too.
Collectively, they look like a team that's kind of going through the motions. That's just, they just call for what it is. That's why I say it's more of the same what we saw last year. What they're trying to do is you're just trying to get in there as healthy as you possibly can. I saw Mark Gunnell, shout out to him though. He threw out the question, do they play that week 16 game, or was it week 16, week 17, whatever that game is, even if they close out the division, whatever it is. I'm like, home field advantage is the greatest advantage, but health truly is the greatest advantage for going in, because all it takes is that one player, and everybody should know from firsthand. When we didn't have a line that second time around, they tried to make that repeat. They were so decimated because of health reasons. They didn't have a line to protect, and Mahomes couldn't throw the ball, didn't have anything going for him. So really, all they're trying to do, especially. This is what makes it so challenging about it. And, people can make whatever argument or statement you say, this is really tough. They got the Browns and the Texans, you can look ahead. Look, playing 3 games in the span of 10 days is harder than anything because there's no recovery time. There's none of that. It's crazy. And the crazy part about it was, I know they scheduled Pittsburgh the same way. They gave them the 3 and 10. I'm like, first of all, this ain't even a shout out. This is a call out to whoever the NFL exec that thought this was a bright idea to schedule these 2 teams like that, especially if they both meet up in the playoffs and everything, and which I think is very possible.
Right.
Like, Who's the idiot that scheduled these three? I mean, I don't care if it's Netflix, Peacock, Nickelodeon.
If you were gonna do this,
TV.
if you were gonna do this week should have been the bye week for the Steelers and the Chiefs.
They're going to have this conversation in the offseason. And even so, regardless of late buys, and this is what I do agree with, every team should have a late buy somewhere, like a secondary buy, because it's not healthy. We're seeing some of the best players go out, and it sucks.
Yeah.
There's always that one team in the playoffs and everything where they're decimated because they didn't have a rest or their bye was too early. And like, let's get serious. I mean, come on, NFL, y'all got to get this right. Give them a secondary buy somewhere, because you want to see teams at their best, and you're not going to give them at their best when you got bye weeks as early as week 4 and week 5, and then it's just all it's going to take is just that one injury or whatever it is, and it throws everybody off. It ain't right. It ain't cool.
If I'm the NFLPA, I'm going to the NFL and I'm saying, look, our players cannot have another bye. The bye weeks can't start until after week 8. At least week 8. Give us week 8. Like 9 on up, that's when the bye week should be happening, because a week 6 bye, a week 5 bye, a week like that's bad. And then you expect them to play, and then the argument is, oh well, the way the scheduling is, you're gonna have rest in between, but still, that ain't the same.
If you want teams playing at their peak and everything, then give them peak rest. I mean, having them go from Sunday to Thursday already is a push as it is doing that Thursday night football, and we haven't had as many garbage games, I would say. I mean, the last one was actually pretty good.
And this one's probably going to be good, even though San Francisco probably is basically out, but they're going to play hard. And then in Seattle, they're going to play spoiler to Seattle. So it's definitely going to be a good – and they still do have a chance to win the division if everything falls apart. But, you know what I'm saying, they're still going to play hard. So this Thursday night game is actually going to be really good. So
but this is the bottom line. We want teams at their best and everything, not this hopping in, playing 3 and 10, especially to getting closer to playoff time. It's too risky. And even if I don't care if it's Netflix and whatever, if Andy could stagger it, this schedule somehow, as far as and they're going to have to, as far with the depth, that would be great, because just giving these teams this many reps, you're talking about a team that's doing like somewhere around 60 offensive possessions, both sides, it's tough. So you're talking about 180, 190, 200 reps in the span of 10 days. That's going to be wear and tear on the body. So hopefully, Andy, I'm pretty sure got a plan with that, how that's going to work out. Even I wouldn't mind seeing a dose of Carson Wentz every once in a while. I wouldn't mind that, because you got to do everything you can to protect your quarterback. You got to find a way to get these. I mean, it's hard to get a rotation with the offensive line. I get that, but the receiver is probably the best. I mean, you might see Remigio probably slip in there a couple more times, as far as this upcoming.
Well, I think he's going to stay on the active roster because of the Hardman. He's out. So, and he just got surgery. He just posted a picture. So I don't know how long he's going to be out. He might be out for the rest of the season. So I think Nico, and I actually thought Nico Remigio had a really pretty good returns. Like he did good on kickoff return. I think you should.
Yeah, I like him on special teams.
Yeah, I think you keep him there. You know what I'm saying? Why break that up? I think our backup. I think with him and Montreal Washington, I think you got a good situation there with the special teams as far as kickoff and punt return. If either or guys are on the 53-man roster, so
I'd rather see them than see one of the starting receivers back there at this point.
You don't want to see Worthy. The only time you put Worthy back there is if it's the AFC Championship game and we need something. That's the only time.
I don't even want to see P. Ryan back there, honestly. And P. Ryan, he's been kind of up and down on my list, as far as
he's actually getting better. I think he's been playing a lot better. He had actually a really good third down conversion on
he did.
That's where he slipped the two defenders and got the first down. So I think he's coming along. And like I said, the huge block on Derwin James, like that was huge. That's what kept that drive alive. So but yeah, as far as the like I said, DJ Humphries is going to be fine. He'll be all right. And as far as resting the players on the stage, I don't think they rest them, because I expect Hollywood Brown to be back around that time, and I think that they're going to try to get him some reps. And of course, you want him to get reps with Patrick Mahomes. You don't want to get him reps with Carson Wentz. So
maybe a half.
Yeah,
maybe.
You know, and I don't expect him to play a whole bunch of snaps. I think they just want to get his body out there, get him running around, get that rapport with Patrick. Maybe get him a couple catches in the slot or whatever, and have a couple where he's lined up with Xavier Worthy on the same side, and they streaking down the field and getting opening things up for DeAndre Hopkins and Kelsey and Justin Watson. You know what I'm saying? So I could see them moving him around, kind of using him more as a decoy, and then in the playoffs, they'll give him here little by little. So. Because you saw the chemistry with him and Mahomes in training camp, but unfortunately, he got hurt. It was just like,
But I think with Hollywood Brown, him coming back, I mean, if everything goes well, I would like to see him go. I mean, you really don't want to see Pat go too much, but realistically, you still don't want to keep him like cold and whatever. I could see him going like a half, like against Pittsburgh, get that, and then pull Mahomes, and then he would go probably with Wentz in the final game of the season. That's what I would want to see.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
if we get that 1 seed locked up, we'll definitely have that going for us. Matter of fact, let's talk about this 1 seed because let me pull this up real quick.
Let's call for what it is. Detroit and Kansas City are going to lock it up. They're going to be the 1 seeds on both sides.
Yeah.
Let's call for what it is.
So this right here is the Chiefs schedule. This is the Bills' last few games, and this is the Steelers' last few games. Now, we got the Browns. We got the Texans on next Saturday, and then we got the Steelers on Christmas, and then we end the year off with the Broncos. The Bills have the Lions next. Then they have after that, their schedule gets easy. They got the Patriots.
Sidebar. How these clowns get 3 cupcakes in a row, and then you got the 2 outside teams playing 3-10? Explain that. That's why I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The Chiefs are the team in the NFL and everything, but then they give the Bills every opportunity. That's my rant. I'm done with that.
And then the Steelers have the Eagles, they have the Ravens, they have us, and then they got the Bengals, which that's not even going to be an easy game.
That's a hard close.
Yeah, I know. I think the Steelers' schedule is actually a little bit harder than ours.
It is, without a doubt.
It's kind of messed up.
That 3-10, that's rude. That's not even fair.
Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs. I know. I mean, I'm not discounting the Browns, but I'd rather play the Browns than the Eagles.
Exactly.
So, if we win our next 2 games, we have the 1 seed locked up. The Bills and Lions, we all probably are picking the Lions to win this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills win. But I just think at home, if this was in Buffalo, I'd be picking Buffalo. But if this is in Detroit, I'm picking Detroit. And then with the Steelers and the Eagles, even though the Eagles are in disarray right now, and which is crazy because y'all are 11-2 and you're complaining about your quarterback not throwing. Okay, never mind.
That's all
I don't get some. Even the fans are complaining. Get rid of Hurts. Like, dude, you're 11-2. Like, what? It'd be different if you was 7-8-5 or whatever. You just, mediocre. Like, if y'all was the team from last year, I would understand that. But y'all light years better than you were last year. Like, the defense is actually playing pretty good. Did y'all almost lose to Carolina? Carolina's been giving people problems for the last 3 to 4 weeks.
They should have lost to Carolina if Leggett only caught the freaking football. Dude.
They should have lost. Real talk, Carolina possibly could be on a 5-game winning streak right now.
They could have been 2 games out of their division. That's how, first of all, that's how terrible that division is. But that's how tight that division is too.
But they should have been on, like, maybe, because look, they won the 2 games that they won. They go into the bye week. Then they face us. They possibly should have beat us. You know what I'm saying? They don't give Patrick, if you don't give Mahomes the ball in the last second or the last minute, you know what I'm saying, to march down the field and get the field goal. They should have beat Tampa if Chuba Herbert holds on to the football in overtime. And then you got this, you know what I'm saying? Like they should have won if they get done. So they could be on like a 5-game winning streak right now. So
Yeah.
Carolina's been giving everybody problems. So I'm not even gonna go there.
Yep.
Next year. Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll be there. But we expect this game is going to be tight. That Steelers and Eagles game. That's going to be a hard game. I'm picking the Eagles because they're in Philly. But like I said, there's in Pittsburgh. And then that Ravens game with the Steelers, that's going to be tough because Ravens are fighting for their playoff lives.
They just coming off a loss on a bye. I expect them to win that game, and then they're still in that chase too, to where they're trying to get the best seed possible. They're still trying to catch that division. I mean, Pittsburgh's still well within. It's just so much that's on the line this week. I don't recall where I seen it where the three teams like this, you know, in a dead heat. And really, I can't even think the last time where the 1 seed could potentially be closed this early too. So as far as with the Steelers and Eagles, I mean, crazy about it. You know, I talked about the Steelers earlier in the year. I said that team was all they had to do was just have a at least an average quarterback, and they basically have proven my point. Did I expect them to win the division? No, I didn't, but I did expect them to make the playoffs and possibly steal a first round win. That's what I did have them predicted. The Eagles, I had no idea what to expect out of them. They seem to figure it out. KC Chiefs playoffs win, yeah, they'll win. They'll take care of it. But the Eagles, I expect them to take care of business. I think I have a feeling Saquon is going to have a big game. I really do. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to have a monster game. I think he's going to do what he does best, and he's going to have a huge game against the Steelers. I think the Steelers. I mean, their defense was pretty bad against Cincy. Last week or the week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Wasn't that good. So I think the Eagles are going to expose that. I think they'll be fine there. Then the Bills and the Lions. The Lions, they know the Eagles are on their tail, so they got everything to play for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see them playing. I mean, the secondaries on either side though hadn't been that impressive. No. So I expect to be a high scoring game.
It's going to be another high scoring game. But the thing about Detroit is what they can do is run their football. And Buffalo's not good against the run. Kyra Williams was running all over them. So you got that two-headed monster in Montgomery and Gibbs. Yeah, and then they got just as much weapons as Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Like you got St. Brown and LaPoyer. Now Tim Patrick is now a weapon for them now. He's their new Josh Reynolds that they had last year. Like they just get more and more weapons.
And Bill's going, that's a tough stretch realistically, having to go against Stafford and then you turn around going against Goff. That's very tough to do. Yeah, and especially this is their second consecutive road games. Usually teams that play back-to-back road games don't really fare too well. So this is an opportunity. I mean, I would say, Chiefs, don't sleep. I mean, this is your chance to take advantage.
Do not let Jameis Winston throw for 500 yards on y'all. Okay. And secondary, let me talk to y'all for a second. When Jameis Winston throws you the football, you catch it, please. Don't drop the interception. Trent McDuffie, come on, man, get your first one, dog. It's a layup right here, man. It's a layup. Don't let Jerry Jeudy look like he's Justin Jefferson out there. Even though Jerry Jeudy hasn't been playing better these past.
He been on tear lately.
He's been playing ball. He's been balling these past 2 weeks. But still, don't make Jerry Jeudy look like he's the second. Even though Jerry Jeudy used to give us kind of problems when he was with the Broncos, like.
Yeah,
he used to get up for us. So, but it's a dead heat for sure. You know what I'm saying? But Chiefs just got to take care of these next 2 games, man. Take care of these next 2 games and just hope that Buffalo lose to the Lions and Steelers lose to the Eagles, and we ain't got to worry about their next 2 games because if we take care of business against the Texans, the 1 seed is locked up. Everything runs through Arrowhead. We get that bye week. We'll probably get 2 weeks of bye weeks, especially, what I'm saying? We'll probably sit everybody for the Broncos game, and then we'll have the second bye week. Everybody be well rested. Pat, Travis, and then we get the divisional round and Arrowhead. Yeah.
I mean, it's slated for them.
Go.
It's slated for the Arrowhead Invitational to resume as usual. It's slated to that to happen. I mean, like you said, all they gotta do is take care of business against the Browns. Don't get caught up in the look ahead game. I mean, I say look ahead game because technically, the Texans are in there, and the Texans they're gonna be missing a key piece because he's suspended for that dirty hit, which is a whole nother story. But it's all it is. The Chiefs are basically controlling their own destiny, just like any other year. The Chiefs I mean, the only team that can beat the Chiefs is themselves. Yeah. That's just called for what it is. That's just how business is. I mean, the Bills and the Lions, the Bills have their destiny. Steelers have their destiny. Bills are pretty much Bills and Pittsburgh are going to be in a dead heat for second and third. And you can kind of throw the Ravens in there too. And it just depends on that situation. The Ravens they got 5 losses. So I would say, fourth, I expect Houston to be the fourth. I don't expect it to change at all.
No,
because that division sucks.
Yeah, I don't expect unless the Colts just have a surge. I don't see it.
I mean, at worst, I expect Buffalo to be the 2, realistically, because even if both Buffalo and Pittsburgh lose, I mean, looking at that schedule, that's just brutal. I see them losing 2 out of 3, 2 of the last 4 at least. I see that happening.
Yeah.
Which would, and then I'll slate them to be probably, well, actually that could be very pivotal because when they play the Ravens again, that's going to determine who has the division, all the other stuff. Because even if you look ahead right now, because I don't see nobody else, the playoffs switching up that much. Because right now you got the Chargers and Denver occupying the 6 and 7. I don't see it changing. I don't see Indy getting in. I don't see Miami getting in, and I don't see Cincinnati getting in at all.
No.
So I think we're safe to say the 7 are going to be set. We just don't know the order. So, looking right now, I mean, if it stayed the same, which is a possibility, you would be looking at Buffalo and Denver, which would be a good matchup. Pittsburgh and the Chargers. I think Pittsburgh would run over them because of their defense, and then Houston and Baltimore. But we have a good slate. I think the 7 teams are set. It's just we'll figure out the order.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk about the Chiefs being AFC West champs 9 straight years, man. You think back, man, to those rough days of being a Chiefs fan and
2012.
Yeah, even before then, what I'm saying, never in a million years you and me would ever think that we'd be in this spot. You know what I'm saying? We always looked at other teams and we had our favorite Chiefs team before this time, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we always had the playoff blunders and the one and done, the no punt game, that's against the Colts, the
Mariota,
the Andrew Luck game, the Titans game. Like, we've had some rough ones. The divisional round against Denver when Marty Schottenheimer decides to put Elvis Gorbach in instead of keeping Rich Gannon, who got us to the damn playoffs in the first place. Rest in peace to Marty Schottenheimer. But still, if Rich Gannon probably starts the game, we might be in the AFC Championship game that year.
And even that year in the 90s where Buffalo, they had their run and then they couldn't get over in the AFC Championship game back then. It just means a lot.
Yeah, they knocked out Joe Montana out the game and it was a wrap. Couldn't get over that hump. So now here we are, 9 straight AFC West championships. 6 in a row AFC championships, and 4 Super Bowls, 3 won, and on our way to possibly creating history and getting a 3-peat. Like, never in a million years would I say we'd be here.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a beautiful feeling, you know what I'm saying, to be able to cheer for a team where the worst is the AFC Championship game. At worst, you got to be in the AFC Championship game because that's where you've been every year since Patrick Mahomes has started quarterback. You've been nowhere less but the AFC Championship game, and you've done everything that they said you couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? They all they complain that everything runs through Arrowhead, and Patrick Mahomes has never done it outside. And last year, what did he do?
And he did it.
Had the one home game, and then went on the road to Buffalo, went on the road to Baltimore, and then went and beat San Francisco again. So
a 2, a 1, and a 1, probably as hard as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And then the team, and then the fastest team probably on in when it comes to receivers can't move in the cold. So I mean, we gotta look at we at one point the winning the division was our Super Bowl.
It really was. It really was. We was happy as hell. And it's funny because I said it in the group chat. I was like, it's funny the maturations of how they, like, you said that video they put on the Chiefs is like when they first went, it was like, yeah, everybody's dancing around and Andy Reid is dancing, and then like now it's just kind of like, yeah, we won. But we got much more than we got to do.
I mean, we were seeing. I mean, even after the Super Bowl. I mean, they used to have some of the most dopest reels leading up to the Super Bowl and stuff. The voiceovers. You had Travis Kelce and all that, and all of a sudden, it just kind of mellowed down. Now we focus on lights out on the stage where it looked like, or on the stadium where it looked like a full blown light show and stuff. I mean, but as a fan, we appreciate these moments because it's unheard of to go from one title in the case to all of a sudden being in the situation to where you could be tied for the second most. Because they got 4. I mean, they were third to last. I mean, and all of a sudden they caught Denver. They caught the Raiders when it came to the championship trophy. Caught them. Now we're in the situation where we're surpassing them to where, look, we're going to be an elite company where they have 5 with the Niners and the Cowboys. And Cowboys ain't touched the Super Bowl platform since the 90s, and they still talking about this all year. Shout out to the Cowboys for choking that game off again, like I figured they would. But
why are y'all? Hold on. Why are y'all trying to win games? Same thing with Cincinnati. Why are y'all trying to win games? Like, I don't get y'all. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, that's just a testament. I mean, that's more so of a testament. I think McCarthy should be fired too because situationals. That is just situationally. He's a mess. I've never seen a coach look like just where the team just like a mess. Whether it be a kickoff return, whether it be special teams, whether it be offense. We seen that hurry up and they look lost. I mean, who cares? They suck. Whatever. I mean, Jerry's world will always be blow it world, and as long as he's GM, whatever. That's their problem, not ours.
Yeah, for real.
But, for the Chiefs to do what they have done in such a short span, realistically, we talk about 2018, and, we can talk about, that year, and they could have had another one there, but let's be realistic. That defense was terrible with that DC, which will remain nameless.
Is his name right with Saab Button?
We've seen the offense go into a complete 180. We've seen the defense go into 180. I think what the fans are looking for is they're waiting for that complete year where everything is kind of going hand in hand at the same time, where it's the best offense, the best defense. And I get it. I completely understand. And you're not always going to have it that way. But the beauty of it, though, is watching this Chiefs team win in more ways than one. We've seen the offense get it done. We've seen the defense get it done. We even seen special teams get it done on a game-winning field goal and a blocked field goal. And, for people to still call it luck, I mean, the numbers don't lie. The stats don't lie. What they're doing, it ain't by mistake. They 9-time division champions for a reason. We can talk about, people that have contributed. We can talk about the teams that, I mean, we can even make an argument. It's probably a question. If we could pull one player from back in the past to where they could be in a situation where they were on this team today, who would it be? I mean, I would have loved to see Priest Holmes get one with the Chiefs. That's one of my picks, but that's a whole nother story.
Give me Eric Berry.
Yeah, Eric Berry. I mean, the only thing that rings with Eric Berry is just that one time he chewed that secondary. It was so bad. It was sad to see him go that way. I never seen him.
You got Orlando Scandrick out there, Mr. Burnt Toast himself.
Eli Apple second. pre-Eli Apple, should I say, because he was before him.
Mr. Burnt Toast himself. Man, we signed that man to the contract.
But they got the second most, consecutive division championships in history behind that other team. I can't complain.
No.
We sitting pretty, with more ahead and a GM that know what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's a testament to Andy Reid. It's a testament to
Veach.
It's a testament to it's a testament to.
And even so, you gotta give credit. You also get good credit to these Spags. Spags is just that guy on defense. He just knows. There's a reason why they got said for Brady, but he's gone beyond Brady, and it's just created some. It's created some magic. They that team.
Yeah, for sure they are. Yeah.
And now we the hated team because the refs seem to only play in favor for the Chiefs only.
I'm going to put you on timeout, Sammy. I don't know what you're over there talking about, sir. You talking about some Dak Prescott and stuff.
Dak Prescott?
Yeah.
Dak Prescott still want to keep his coach along with the other, but, like I said, that's the Cowboys. We don't care. I know they should be mad at Dak Prescott, but whatever. They be mad at McCarthy.
All right, man. Let's talk about our new signee. Steven Nelson has come back to the Kansas City Chiefs, y'all. Old corner. Last played with us in 2018. Didn't end on a good note, and unfortunately he was in the defense that Mark said we can't name the defensive coordinator's name no more. Name
but you know what?
Side button.
I'm gonna give it a pass. Not the DC at all. Not that guy. Because when he played in Pittsburgh, he wasn't that bad.
No, he wasn't.
He was bad.
He wasn't bad last year in Houston either.
And I think with that veteran presence, every year the Chiefs do this. They always add that veteran presence. It doesn't have to be the player that makes the biggest plays, but sometimes all it takes is that veteran, to be able to point out and show and be able to do some things, to be able to make this team go and make this team better. We've seen it in years past when they added Suggs and stuff like that, which was a key acquisition. He got another ring with the Chiefs and all that stuff. And, we've seen this. I'm not surprised by it. I mean, it's more of a depth move more than anything. But, I'm all for it. Get that boy a ring the right way that he got snubbed on because he got put in a bad situation because of that DC to remain nameless, because I can't mention that guy who gives me a headache.
Yeah. No, I'm not mad at the signing. Like I said, Steven Nelson was really good. He was actually pretty good with the Houston Texans last year. He had like 4 interceptions last year. And he had a really good grade. I know a lot of people don't like PFF, but he actually had a decent grade with PFF last year. So if he can come in and if he can solidify and be a good nickel corner and or a good, corner on the outside that can help Trent McDuffie be on that inside where we need him, to where Spags can run the defense like he was running it when Jalen Watson was in here. When Jalen Watson was in the defense played a lot better. Let's just call it what it is. And now we got a bunch of safeties and guys playing out of position. Shamari Connor, he can't cover for.
No, he can't cover this.
He just can't. He gets burnt every time. He looks lost out there. He doesn't look right. We all know about Justin Reed. Like, he has his blunders in coverage. He's more of a box linebacker safety type deal. Jaden Hicks is a rookie, so now you want to depend on a rookie to be that guy. And we know the talent of Jaden Hicks, but I don't know if he has the cover skills. Cook, he looked like he's still recovering from that leg injury. Like, he doesn't look like the player he was last year before he got hurt. So you got a bunch of guys playing out of position, and they just gotta if Steven Nelson can come in and just be a decent solid guy on that in the secondary, that would go way beyond. And this is no slight to Nazi Johnson. Shout out to Nazi Johnson's mom. This is no disrespect to your son, ma'am. But you know, it's hard to come back from a leg injury and have that same movement when you come back. It's all mental too. Like I expect Nazi Johnson, he'll possibly be better next year. Because he'll be 2 years removed from that leg injury. So for right now, and look, Nazi is good in man-to-man coverage. It's just playing in zone, they're not as good. Him and Joshua Williams, they're just not good at zone. Whereas in Jalen Watson, thrived in zone coverage. He can play that. So can Trent McDuffie. So we got to get the best players out there that can actually cover ground with these receivers nowadays. Because these offenses are going 3-4 wide receiver deep. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to cover some ground. So hopefully that'll help out. And he's a veteran, so he'll be able to do it.
And also to add to that too, as far as like on the D line, is kind of the numbers have kind of tanked a little bit. I mean, part of it could be, as far as like not showing your whole. I mean, you don't show your whole hand during the regular season. I get it. So schematically, that might be part of the decline as well too, because it's just simply not getting home, not getting to the quarterback as much as they did last year. They were second best, I think, last year when it came to the sacks category. And now it's kind of tailed off a little bit. But like I said, we could be dealing with fool's gold too. The way the Chiefs been playing. Like, I mean, this could be one of those flip the switch and it's like you come off the divisional game and also they got 5 sacks out of nowhere. Who knows? I mean, they're just not showing their whole hand clearly. They're not doing that, and they just want to be healthy. That's just the name of the game. Let's just call it for what it is.
Yeah, that's possible.
I agree with that.
That is possible. Definitely Connor going back to safety. Like, he don't need to be a corner. He's not a slot corner, and he's getting in the showing. He's getting cooked out there. Like, it's bad.
Particularly the Bills game. That was, I think, where it showed the most.
This last game, you getting smoked by somebody named Stone Smart. Who the hell is Stone Smart? Ain't never heard that dude a day in my life. They letting Stone Smart cook them.
But that's how it's been though. It's like, we're no stranger to that. The Chiefs have always found a way where they make that one no name that nobody ever heard of.
The game of his life. Had the game of his life, and then we never hear from that guy ever again. He gets cut 2 games from here.
Everybody pick him up in fantasy league, and then all of a sudden they trashed him for the rest of the season. Shout out to everybody that's in their finals and all that stuff in the playoffs.
Yeah, only one league I didn't make the playoffs. All the rest of them, I got 2 bye weeks, and the other 2, I'm in the playoffs.
There you go. Shout out to all
Stan, I got you, boy. I'm about to whoop you.
Shout out to all the fantasy football teams that are out there still standing. All the ones that got there on the bad beats as far as with some of them bad deals. I seen some embarrassing things y'all had to do. One dude had to sit at McDonald's for 24 hours. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, I just, my Yahoo league, I lost, man. T. Higgins didn't give me no points to do. I had Jamar Chase. Whoop my butt.
Game over.
It was over. T. Higgins didn't do nothing. And I was winning too. He was the 6th seed, I was the 7th seed. If I won, I would have got in.
Jamar Chase should be like the highest paid though next year. He's just that guy.
Yeah, he's definitely, regardless of our Bengals hate, I'm always pro player getting paid, and he deserves to get paid. He will be the highest paid, whether it be with the Bengals or with somebody else. He's going to be the highest paid player. And T. Higgins is going to get the bag too from whatever team that he goes to in free agency. He's going to have some bidders out there. The only thing about T is he get hurt. He kind of get nicked up a little bit. But I think a little bit of that is like, I ain't get my money yet. So I'm going to sit out this game. My leg hurts a little bit.
It's tricky because, usually these contract years, people are usually kind of like going all out and all that stuff. But then, we know his talent, we know his ability. But at the end of the day, the health is what matters. That's the thing about with Jamar Chase. That's the risk he takes if he goes back to signing with the Bengals. If he signs back with the Bengals, you don't know if you're going to get a healthy Joe Burrow or is it going to be sideline Joe Burrow. So that's something to consider.
And say what you want. Like I said, we know we can't stand the Bengals. They players, they fan base, they're all trash. But if we're being real, if Bengals had a winning record, Joe Burrows would be the MVP right now. We wouldn't be talking about Josh Allen right now. We wouldn't, and it wouldn't even be close right now.
It's just that secondary sucks. Like it's awful.
Terrible.
I mean, my goodness.
But
like,
he would be the MVP this year. You know what this year reminds me of? Deshaun Watson's last year with the Texans.
Yeah,
he balled out. He had the numbers. He had the passing yards, the touchdowns. But his team was terrible. They were bad. They weren't good. They weren't good at all. So that's what this reminds me of. That and did Mahomes win it that year? I don't know. He might have won it that year.
Was that the year they went to play where they played him in the playoffs? I don't remember.
No, this is well after that. This is
think.
D-Hop is gone, and
oh yeah, because that coach. Yeah, I remember that.
I think Bill O'Brien had already got there.
Bill O'Brien grew up, and God knows where he is. I don't even know. I don't even care.
Yeah.
But you know, I ain't mad at the Steve Nelson acquisition. That's the bottom line.
Me neither.
He's in a better situation. He's got a better DC.
I'm pretty sure he'll get elevated this week to the 53-man roster and be playing against the Browns. All right, man, let's go around. Let's talk about it. Let's go around.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's go around the league a little bit, man. Now, the NFC side, we all know that Detroit is, the top team right now, but they are suffering a lot of injuries, and it's going to be interesting to see how that goes for them. Because last week Green Bay was able to score on them, and I get it, it's a division game, but we got weapons. You can score on this Detroit defense.
Yeah,
and, they're going against Buffalo, and I know Buffalo don't have the weapons that Green Bay does per se, but they do.
Yeah,
like Khalil Shakur can score. Coop can get open. If they getting Dalton Kincaid is really good. If they run the football a little bit more, because they couldn't run the football last week against the Rams. But if they can run the football a little bit like Josh Jacobs was, then they have a chance to win that game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not picking them, but they got a chance to win that game. So, but going forward for the Detroit going into the playoffs, they health is going to be a concern, especially on that defensive side of the ball. Offensively, they got all the weapons in the world, with J-Mo, Ahmad St. Brown, Laporte, and those two running backs. But it's all on their defense. Can their defense get enough stops to keep them in games? So,
I mean, I think they'll be fine. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the Lions will still be the 1 seed when it's all said and done. I think they'll be just fine. The team I would not sleep on, and I believe they're going to be slowly building steam, will be the Rams. They're on the outside in. I see them getting in, and I see Seattle blowing it. I just do. I just don't. Yeah. I can't trust Geno. I just can't. I can't.
I understand. I just think with Seattle, I do like what I'm seeing. Like, finally, they have unlocked JSN. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Dude is balling. Like, you got DK, you got him with Tyler Lockett. Those two running backs are nothing to slouch on either. They Walker and Charbonnet, both of them dudes is walking touchdown anytime you give them the ball. So, and their defense is actually not too shabby either. They got some good guys that can rush the passer, and their two corners are just as good as any corners in the league. So,
they got their work cut up for them, though, because Seattle got Green Bay coming to town, and they turn around, play the Vikings, and then they get a bye week against the Bears.
And that's another team, the Vikings. The Vikings, if they can play anything, so I'm not expecting Sam Darnold to throw 5 touchdowns every week, but if they can play like this and this defense continue to do what they do, Vikings can be a problem in the playoffs. That's the one team I feel like, can give Detroit problems.
Yeah. I mean, all it takes is that one blunder. I mean, last year, the Lions' blunder was mainly on the coach, and that was just bad situational coaching in that aspect. The Lions, they'll be there, but, you look at the field. I mean, I'm still standing behind my guns. I still believe Green Bay will figure it out. It's hard, and if they meet again, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
Very difficult. So if they were to meet again, I would go cheese heads all day in that situation.
And I've always said this, like a lot of people say, "Oh, well, Green Bay wants to play at home." Not necessarily, not with
No.
those weapons. If you have those type of weapons on offense, and the only problem with Green Bay is they don't have a true. I mean, I think Reed is their number 1 wide receiver. I think he likes him the most when he throws him the ball. I think Christian Watson is the number 2, and I think Romeo Dobbs is 3. Like that's how I think it is. But if they're in a dome, I'd rather have those weapons in a dome. I don't want these weapons in the cold weather, even though you got Josh Jacobs to run the football, but still.
And even so, history says though with Green Bay, at least the last time they got to the Super Bowl, they had to get it done on the road. They were a wild card.
True. And let's be real. If Jordan Love doesn't throw that dumb pass in the divisional round against the 49ers, it might have knocked the Niners out. They should have won that game.
49ers should never been to Super Bowl. They got gifted twice, back-to-back weeks.
The Niners looked horrible in the playoffs. They did not look good at all, like in either game. They were not looking good. Like I'm watching that game and I'm like, Green Bay might knock these dudes off. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everybody thought the Green Bay beating Dallas was just like, that Dallas is not that good. They suck. No. Green Bay's kind of hanging in this game, but then Jordan Love wanted to get the highlight reel touchdown and just threw it up for grabs to Greenlaw. And it was just like,
I mean, that was a typical first year as a starter situation. If I can put a name to it, honestly, I mean, those mistakes happen late in the playoffs. I mean, I get it. You know, playoff football is completely different than regular season football. So
and it was his first year in the playoffs too. So yeah.
I put it on that, but the 49ers should have never got to the Super Bowl last year at all. I mean, for the Lions, that whole not taking the points gaff, I think they might have learned it. I mean, they still play the same way. And will they be in a situation? I mean, it's been a while. But that's the danger about a team that hasn't lost in a while. That's why I'm kind of glad the Chiefs lost in the middle of the season the way they did. Because one, it takes off that undefeated pressure. And then 2, usually teams that haven't lost since like the beginning of the year, like back in October or September or something like that, usually it's almost a trap. Because when was the last time the Lions, was it like the second week or something like that?
Who did they lose to? Tampa Bay?
Yeah. It was Tampa. That's a little concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost. It's been a long time, and sometimes that loss comes at the worst time.
Yeah, no. Or you just. Now, I will say this: what I have been impressed with Detroit is they have seen they've been in close games lately too, and they found ways to pull them out. So I will give them that credit. Like it's not like last year with the Ravens where the Ravens were blowing everybody out. Like it wasn't even close. It was by 3 touchdowns, and then. You kind of saw it in the playoffs against Houston. That first half against Houston, they weren't.
That was the first year. First year, he wasn't ready.
That too, but Ravens weren't playing that good in that first half either. It was looking kind of a little sketchy in the first half, but then Lamar Jackson pulled it off in the second half. And then even the game against us, like they look out of sorts. Now the defense started playing better, but they look kind of out of sorts. It was just a few broken plays here and there that kept them in that game. The Leo Chenal whiff on Lamar Jackson, and he got the pass to Zay Flowers, and then even the L'Jarius Sneed got caught looking in the backfield, and Zay Flowers wide open. Luckily, Zay Flowers' immaturity showed up and got him a 15-yard penalty, and then
fumbled.
Then he fumbled in the end zone, but still, like I think the difference is that Detroit has been in some close games. Last week they were in a dogfight with Green Bay, and they could have possibly lost that game. The game against the Texans, the 5 interception game with Goff.
They had no business winning that game.
They didn't. Like Texans just tricked that off. But still, even then, when you give good teams the opportunity to stay in the team, they're gonna stay in the game. They're gonna make you pay for it. The Chiefs are living proof of that. Like, you keep us in the game, we're gonna make you pay. New England used to do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You could be beating New England, whatever, and then you let them stay. But if you don't put them away, they're gonna beat you. They're gonna find a way.
That's why even with Green Bay, we can't dismiss the fact that Jordan Love, that was his return game because he was coming off an injury in that first meeting.
Yeah, he was hurt. You could tell he was hurt. He couldn't even move. He could barely move. And it was raining. It was raining in that game. So the ball was not right. Like,
he was a cone on hands.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it was not good. So
that's why that third time matchup, that would not be a good look. I think Detroit wants to do everything they can to avoid that. Is it possible? As far as I definitely see Green Bay looking. I gotta look and see where they currently are, but I would say you don't want Green Bay to be their first round match or second round matchup. If Detroit would get that would be the worst. That would be the worst nightmare, I think.
I think any two of them in their division. You don't want to see the Vikings either.
Mm-hmm. Because right now the Vikings are the 5, and then Green Bay would be the 6. So Green Bay right now, they're currently slated to play Seattle, but I think they'll choke and end up playing the Rams or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. And then Washington is a team that's interesting to watch. I want to see how they perform down the stretch. I mean, they're holding the 7. I mean, they're shown to be a well-matured team early in this stage, but how will they handle it down the stretch? That's going to be. And I mean, it works in their favor because they ain't got to worry about Dallas.
Well, Kadarius Toney is officially done.
No, I was officially done with him years ago.
He just got waived by the Browns,
as he should.
He got me muffed. He muffed that punt last week.
If you get waived by the Browns, you've hit an ultimate low. You really have.
Just go play for the UFL or something, though.
It's the Commanders. They got the Saints, Eagles, Falcons, and Cowboys remaining.
That's a winnable schedule.
It's a very winnable schedule.
That's a winnable schedule. Maybe one of them they lose, but even then, they ain't possible to win the game.
I'm just looking at some of these remaining teams and everything. Packers got Seattle. They got the Saints. They got the Vikings in the divisional game. Then they got the Bears at home, which I don't expect the Bears to do much of anything.
Bears are terrible.
I mean, I honestly think it's going to still stick. I think it's going to be Detroit going to be the 1. Philly should probably be the 2. Seattle will screw it up. I think Rams will sneak in and be the 3. Tampa Bay. I mean, that is crazy for the Falcons. Just the way they've been playing is absolutely ridiculous.
Kirk Cousins is old, man. It's over. Put Penix in if y'all want to salvage y'all season.
That is crazy.
Everybody, you're a rookie. I'm telling you. That boy can move 10 times better than Kirk Cousins. This is why I said that move was bad, because you paid Kirk Cousins all that money, and now his age is showing because he's coming off an Achilles injury. He can't move like he used to in the pocket.
They could have used that money for somewhere else. They could use that for another position player.
Yeah. How about their defense, who can't stop anybody?
Mm-hmm.
You can't get a pass rush. You thought Matthew Judon was going to be the answer. He can't do it by himself.
Nope.
I like Grady Jarrett, but he's not Chris Jones.
Nope. I don't get that team at all. That team was like well ahead of the pack, had every advantage against Tampa Bay, had the head-to-head advantage, and now they find themselves outside. I'm like, how does that happen?
Man, y'all should have spent that money and got you some defensive linemen. That's what y'all should have got. You should have drafted a defensive lineman in the first round.
Something.
Or if you signed Kirk Cousins 2-year deal, you should have got your defensive player.
Or they trading for somebody who need a quarterback.
Or if you was gonna do if you was really thinking about getting a quarterback in the draft, you should have signed a true backup quarterback. Somebody who could hold it down until Penix is ready. If you didn't think Penix was going to be ready, you could have signed your Gardner Minshew. You could have signed any guy like that who could just hold it down for, whatever. And then when he starts, you put Penix in. Or you have a battle out in the training camp, and if Penix outplays Gardner Minshew in training camp, he's your starter. And I guarantee you the Atlanta Falcons would look a lot better right now if Michael Penix was in the starting lineup.
Is that GM a first year?
I don't think so.
Well, you're gonna be looking at him. I remember saying, who was the GM over there that made that move? I remember saying that.
Because when they drafted, I was like, Michael Penix, why? And it'd be like I could even make sense of it if Michael Penix was like 21, 20. Because then I'd be like, all right, he's young. He's still young. By the time he starts, he'll be 22, 23. Okay, cool.
You got some miles on him, bro.
Man, at 23 years old, man. He gonna start when he's 25.
It makes a difference.
Oh man, but I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Falcons, y'all messed up. And Tampa Bay ain't no better. Tampa Bay, they barely win a game. They barely beat the damn Raiders. Messed up my ticket last week.
Tampa Bay, I knew they were going to be hurting when they lost their receiver. I mean, they ain't been right since those injuries.
No, they haven't. But they got Evans back.
They got Evans back. The other Godwin, though, he's a big contributor.
He was their chain mover. He was the chain mover.
They lost him. I said this team ain't gonna be the same. I mean, they'll get into the playoffs, but they're not no super. I mean, they ain't gonna be no Super Bowl contenders now.
Godwin was their chain mover. What's your name? Is their big play down the field guy? Evans. He's the.
And then they begin their tight end. Was it Auden?
Auden. I mean, Auden, Cade Auden. He's good too. So, and then them running backs are really good with Bucky Irvin and White. Like they got weapons around them. It's just the Chris Godwin hurt them, but they still got enough. McMillan is coming along. Jalen McMillan is coming along. So I don't know.
They're good enough to get their divisional banner, but then they'll mess around and get knocked out by the 5.
They're gonna be out in the first round.
I mean, right now it's slated to play Minnesota, so I don't see that changing.
Minnesota gonna smoke them.
Minnesota, yeah, because they had a 2-game advantage over Green Bay. Even if Green Bay wins the next one, they would still be stuck. So
yeah, they're gonna smoke them.
Because it would currently be Minnesota playing Tampa Bay, which I think will be the matchup in the first round. Green Bay, like I said, I think that's going to change. I think that's going to be the Rams instead of that would be a good one. Green Bay versus the Rams. That would be a good opening matchup.
That would be good.
That would be very interesting. And then your 7, I'm going to assume it's going to be Washington. I can't see them blowing it. Washington and Philly in the divisional game. That would be a fun one to watch.
That would be fun.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun because then the Jalen Hurts would somehow lose that one.
Oh, God. Philly's gonna have a meltdown.
It'll be a dumpster fire. Philly gonna be on alert.
What's up, Nani?
What's happening?
But yeah, it'll be really bad. It'll be really bad for them if that happens. They already ready to beat each other up. AJ Brown, he mad as hell. He ain't getting the touches. I'm like, you fools is 11-2.
I mean, first of all, I don't know. They're just a team that just hungry for drama between that coach and AJ Brown. I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Brown got traded next year. I just wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he's out of there. I think he's gone next year.
I just wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that'd be very disappointing. They have Saquon. He has the year he has, and he gets knocked out by the Washington Redskins Commanders. That would be real shameful. It would make it entertaining in the second round, though. Washington and Detroit. That's what it turned out to be. That'd be very entertaining. But I think we're safe to say, though. Well, actually, no, because Seattle, I think they'll get replaced by the Rams. I think both sides will be set. The AFC ain't changing, and just the NFC, I see one team just being an adjustment. That's just what I see.
Sunday night's game is going to mean everything for Seattle going forward to me.
Mm-hmm.
If they can get that one against Green Bay, then I think they have a chance to win that division.
It's going to be – there's a lot of key games.
Cosplaying. I just think they need rest, Nani. That's what I think. I think that bye week is very important to the Chiefs, Nani. They need it. They need a reset.
Now, these next 2 weeks are going to be the ones that we watch very closely. Like we were talking about earlier, they play the Chiefs. If they take care of business against Cleveland, and they take care of business against the Texans, and then if the Bills and the Bills and the Pittsburgh lose their respective games, the 1 seed will be locked up with 2 games remaining.
Yeah,
so that would be the most ideal situation.
Ideal, yeah, for sure.
But they choke against Cleveland. I mean, they're still ahead, but it just creates an extra game that you really don't want to play. Yeah, I'm not saying the Bills I'm not saying every game is guaranteed, but when you have a marshmallowy soft schedule like what I'm seeing with the Bills getting at the end of the year, which is absolutely ridiculous. How in the world do you get New England twice? Was it New England twice? And then you get and then they got the Jets? Because they already played Miami out, didn't they?
Cool. They played them twice already.
How does that happen?
So now they get their last 3 division, or they play their last divisional games with New England twice and the Jets.
How does that happen? I don't understand. That's another thing too that needs to be fixed in the league. There should be no point where they're facing a team twice in 3 weeks. That happened with the Chiefs last year, I think it was, where they played.
Did that Bronco? Yeah, they played Broncos, right?
I hate that. I'm like, what's the point? I'm like, we talking about scheduling and competitive, whatever. I don't know. They need to fix that. No more 3-10s. No more three games in 10s. None of this 1 team in 3 weeks. They need to fix that. And 2 bye weeks. That's what they need. That's what every team should have. They should have at least 2 bye weeks. Especially you want them to play at the highest level. I don't care if they get rid of preseason at this point. If they give them 2 games, what is it? 3? Is it 3 right now, preseason?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they took away 1, I'd be okay. They just call it for what it is, because realistically, the first 3 weeks of the season are preseason anyway.
Pretty much.
That's all it is. You're gonna find out who the scrubs are, and basically we're pretty much right. The frauds are the frauds, and we knew the Saints were the frauds. We called it back on the second or third week.
Yeah, we did.
Everybody had them in the power ranks like in the 4 or 5. I said, like, pump your brakes, Like, we've seen this story before. Really?
They played Dallas, and who they play?
They played Carolina.
Carolina, yeah. They blew them both out, and everybody's like, oh, look out for the Saints.
I'm like, this is Dennis Allen we talking about. Either we being punked NFL style, or they just trying to get fools gold, or they try to get everybody to bet on the Saints over at the sports book or something like that. That's probably what happened. They got.
They did.
They got took.
Not to get off subject, but still football. What you think about the college football playoffs?
I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. I have no complaints. I mean, everybody, we can make the argument, talk about the best teams, they play the hardest schedules and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Don't lose 3 games. Sorry.
And don't lose to an Oklahoma team that doesn't have a quarterback that can throw the football.
Exactly.
How about that, Bama? Don't lose to Vanderbilt.
They got it right. I had no issue. Texas is one of the top teams.
And
Georgia,
hey, man,
Georgia.
The one thing I do got to complain about. Hey, committee, why y'all do that to Oregon?
That was weird. Now, I will say that.
Why y'all do that to Oregon, man?
They need they need
Oregon.
That's the one thing they need to fix, though. That should to hold its integrity, they need to do like the lowest seed how they do in the NFL. I don't agree with how they redid the brackets. That's stupid to me. The highest team, they have a right to play the lowest seed. I didn't like that.
Oregon should be where Arizona State is at. That's where they should be at.
I mean,
or maybe even down at the bottom. They should be down in one of them bottom brackets. They should be facing SMU or next. Yeah. They gotta face Ohio State or who's Ohio State play?
Well, I think Ohio State will choke anyway because that dude sucks.
Will Howard. He wasn't that good in K-State. That's why he left. He did. That's why he left. He wasn't that good in K-State. Choked at K-State. What do you think was going to happen at Ohio State? He's going to choke.
Vote want him out, and I don't blame him. I mean,
Texas got the easiest road.
Yeah, they do.
They got Arizona.
That's the other thing about Texas, though. And, man, Texas should have won that game. All right, Sam. But these college kids kill me sometimes. Oh, you're worried about these? No, he'll be fine.
We talked about it earlier. Now, I don't know the extent of his. I just think he had a cramp. I just think he had that little cramp up because he hasn't played football in like a year, and you're making a man do 60 snaps.
Slap some WD-40, you make him drink some pickle juice.
You're making a man coming off an ACL tear that just got back playing football. This is training camp, OTAs, and mini camp. So he gonna cramp up, regardless if they had started him this week, next week, week after. He was gonna have some cramps. He was gonna lock up. So I think he'll be fine. And even if he's not fine, he'll be out probably for a week. He'll be ready for Houston. I'll say that.
I mean, you got to figure out too. You're talking about. I mean, I think probably him playing it could be any divisional opponent. That's usually probably the toughest matchup for them anyway because the teams already know you so well as it is. Mm-hmm. Had it been maybe another team that's outside the division, it may not have been. I mean, and maybe it still might have because it's just been a while. But
yeah,
I just think he'll be better in the Cleveland game going forward. I think he'll be fine. Like I said, give him some WD-40, some whatever. He'll be all right. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was about to. We should have.
Yeah, we should.
Jameis Testaverde.
Brian, we should have 3 interceptions, but our secondary doesn't like to pick up. Shout out to D-Mac. D-Mac put Jameis Winston is going to throw 5 passes to the secondary's chest, and they're going to drop every last one. They're gonna drop every last one of them.
All I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna make this bold statement. I would not be surprised though if the Chiefs fell behind early in this game. I wouldn't be surprised because every team has given them their best punch, and I think the Browns are gonna be another one too. They're gonna give them a good punch, and it'll be good to see how this Chiefs team responds, especially in their current look, how they come together. I mean, we definitely want to see the Mahomes-Worthy connection get better.
And it actually has been improving.
Yeah. I think his field awareness has gotten better. I will say that.
I think those two incidents of him, getting out of bounds, I think they worked on that. I think he's worked on that. Mm-hmm. Only thing him and Mahomes got to work on is just that deep shot, man. Just getting on the same page when he's going out deep.
That's the Justin that's your boy Justin play. That's on him all day.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be fine in that regards. I mean they still gotta figure out, the Pacheco and Hunt balance, they gotta figure that out. I mean, I think the beauty about it with Kelsey though, although his numbers don't show, and that's part of as far as when you have to appreciate the kind of defense that we have, is that you're able to preserve another year or two possibly on his career. And Noah Gray stepping up, he's earned his contract. Mm-hmm. He's done extremely well.
He really has. And going forward, he's probably I feel good about life after Kelsey with Noah Gray, and we'll see how Jerry Wiley bounces back from an ACL tear. That's gonna be kind of interesting to see that. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a tight end again next year.
I mean, if they win the 3-peat, I mean, I could see Kelsey, no matter what the situation is, right out to the sunset.
I do too. I personally think this is going to be his last year, regardless, even if we don't win. I think this is the last year. I just think that he just doesn't look. He don't look like he's having fun out there at all. Like,
I think it's more so too, also to enjoy life too. He got that whole Taylor Swift thing going on or whatever. His
podcast is thriving. He's got the acting career coming up. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe even so, the absence. When his brother was retiring last year. Sometimes I think that does something to a player when it's a sibling as well. It's just not the same. I think in a way it does affect that. And it's kind of show, regardless of it, it's nice to hear his other brother, talking and commentating stuff like that. That'd be like Sidebar, that would actually be a dope commentary. Just have them somehow or something. Like they should take over the Manning brothers. Cause I'm sick of them.
You don't like the Manning cast? I like the Manning cast, man. Keep the Manning cast. Keep the Manning cast.
They okay, but I think the Kelsey brothers would be a little bit more entertaining. I think it would be.
I think you can find another way you can get Kelsey and what's her name on their own show. Maybe get them a show on ESPN or Fox, something like that.
I think that's well overdue in that aspect of it. But I think this would probably be the last.
Even if you can bring their new height show to national TV or whatever, like they did Pat McAfee. So Fox, if you're Fox Sports, I would do that because you're trying to compete with ESPN. So, well, what better way than to bring the Kelsey brothers over there? So,
it's just me.
But yeah, as far as the Browns go, man, I think you get a heavy dose of Pacheco in this game. As far as the running back balance, I think that Pacheco is the guy on first and second down, and then it's third and short. If it's third and short, you put in Kareem Hunt. If it's 3rd and 7, you put in Samaje Perine because he's the best pass blocking running back that we have, and he can catch out of the backfield. So I think that's how you divvy that up. First and second down, you run Pacheco. If it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, possibly, you get the ball to Kareem Hunt. Goal line situations, you give it to Kareem Hunt. But anything 3rd and long, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, you put Samaje Perine out there.
Oh, we know it's going to be 1,000% going to be a pass. We know that for sure.
It is. I mean, 3rd and 10, you got to pass the ball. So,
Perine, although I mean, it's been a while since we've seen like Kareem Hunt catch a screen, and they used to do that all the time in the earlier years.
They actually did it in this game. They gave him a little screen pass, and he ran it.
I must have missed that one.
Little dump off pass to him, and he ran it up.
I mean, that's good. That good old fashioned screen still works.
Yeah,
it's only 4 points. That's it. Well, that's more so because they ain't covering. That's what that is. I know
that's exactly what it is. The Vegas is starting to catch on. Like, all right, man, we got to make this a little smaller.
And I can see that being. I mean, you don't want it to, but let's just call it for what it is. That game will probably be decided by 3.
Yeah,
most likely. That's what I see.
I see. 24-21.
Something like that.
24 until they blow somebody out or beat somebody by at least 10 points. I'm picking close games, man.
But what makes me nervous about it, though, even saying a 3-point game, is that usually, I mean, even if this happens to Butker too, is that when they have that game where the game is decided on a game-winning kick, they blowing them up, and then all of a sudden like special teams player of the week, and then all of a sudden next week they miss like 1 or 2 field goals. I'm like, oh no.
Here we go.
So,
well, hopefully we're getting Harrison Buckner back soon.
What is this, the 4th week?
So hopefully we get him back soon. Hopefully they take him off IR soon.
I mean, it's 4 weeks is usually the IR length, so
you saw him on the sideline, so that's a good sign. He was on the sideline. He was Hollywood Brown, Rasheed Rice. They all was on the sideline. So
you know what? Also, shout out to that punter, man, Ariza.
Oh man, he's a beast.
He's one of the few punters who you will see get downfield and make some kind of effect on the tackle. I forgot what game I was watching, but one of them punters got laid out. I'm like, why are you here? It was bad. I think it was might have been the Bills Rams, something like that. Somebody I think it was the Bills Rams, as a matter of fact. That sorry punter got laid out. I'm like, dude, this is pathetic.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Matt Riza is a linebacker playing as a punter. He's a safety or something, because man, he be laying dudes out. That's why he's a punt god, man. He's a punt god, man.
And I do like when they have Reed in there too as on the kickoff specialist sometimes too as well, because sometimes I mean they're starting. I mean, it seems like teams are starting to slowly figure out how to
kickoff.
get these lanes, and they're starting to get
And
these terms.
Dicker, what were you doing, man?
Cameron Dicker.
What was that? I'm not complaining. Thank you. I'm not complaining. Thank you. You ultimately gave us the game, man. When he kicked that kick, I was like, what was that? He didn't get it in the zone, man. What are you doing? You just want to give us to the 40, huh? The Vegas call? Hey.
What's crazy about it, those Dickers, like as quiet as kept, one of the better teams.
He's one of the best kickers in the league.
I mean, even in this weird season, because kickers, my goodness,
been bad. They've been terrible. Some of the best kickers, Tucker, Carlson. Yeah, it's been bad. What's the kicker from the Eagles? He ain't been kicking good. He been bad.
Like, but you know what? I want to throw in this other side note too. I mean, while we on rule changes and rule adjustments, there should be a rule where kicks, like field goal kicks inside the 5, should be forbidden. They should be forced to go for it.
Why?
Because I mean, they already made the adjustment, pushing the field goals, back to the 20, making the 33-yard extra point. And that's cool. I don't mind it because it's created that suspense. I mean, it's your offense's fault if you can't get it together inside the 5. I just think it'd be more entertaining.
No, I hear you.
And if they get the stop, then hey, that means your offense got to figure out how to get outside the 5-yard line. That's the way I see it. Make it more entertaining. But it is what it is.
Mark over here changing rules.
I mean, we can get 3 games in 10 days. I'm just saying. In the spirit of competition.
Right. All right, man. Who's your players of the game?
I'm gonna give it to the kicker. Why not? It's probably the one time and only time you probably get recognized. And you know what? Usually it's offense, defense. I'm just gonna give it to him for special teams because special teams don't get that recognition enough. I'm just gonna give it to the kicker. Because, like I said, kickers, they don't get. I mean, we always talk about Butker and stuff like that. He always do his job and stuff like that. But I'm gonna give it to him. Give it to Wright. He'll probably never get another one again. I can't see. He's probably on his way out once Butker gets back. So here's your honorary thank you. And if the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl, I mean, you get a ring technically. So there you go. Player of the game. We'll give it to you, Wright. Congratulations.
I'm not mad at that. On offense, I know he didn't have a lot of yards and he didn't score any touchdowns, but I just want to give it to Isaiah Pacheco because, man, it was just a breath of fresh air to see that juice on the offensive side. He brings an energy to the offense. Anytime interception by Reed or Connor.
If Connor gets an INT, it definitely is weak.
It might be an anytime touchdown by one of those two, Nani. I don't know. Njoku might have a good day. Anytime touchdown by Njoku. That's what it might be.
Connor want to be like plus 5,000.
Oh man. But yeah,
I agree with though. That's fair.
I like Isaiah Pacheco. And then on defense, I'm gonna go with Turk Warden. Man had 2 sacks, man. He had a pretty good game, man. I gotta give it to Turk, man. It was funny. I don't know if you saw the clip where they, after the game, they give the game balls out and they gave one to Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes. I forgot the other person. And then after they was done, you see Chris coming to the sideline. He was like, "Hey man, get this to Pat, man. I ain't do shit to get this. I ain't do nothing to get this." Oh, that was funny, man. I was like, Chris funny, man. I ain't do nothing to get this, man. Take this ball, man. That's funny.
At least he honest.
Yeah, shout out to Turk Warden and Isaiah Pacheco, man. And we're off to Cleveland.
Off to Cleveland. And we're not talking about seeing the Cavaliers.
To face Pastor Jameis Winston and the disciples.
The other side of Ohio.
I am scared of Myles Garrett, though. Free Myles Garrett, man.
You know, it ain't happening.
Someone next year somehow Howie Roseman is gonna go trade for him because the Eagles get everybody on defense.
Might. No one know.
They're gonna sell him for a box of Cracker Jacks and some Tic Tacs.
Some shaved ice.
A conditional 7th round pick for Myles Garrett. You'd be like, what?
As Myles Garrett got left on his contract.
I don't know. He probably do. He's probably due for a new one.
I understand these players want to get paid, but man, I need y'all to think some of these contracts through. Like, you sure you want to stay here?
That's what I say. That's what I felt about Alvin Kamara. I was like, why are you staying in New Orleans? Like, go somewhere and win.
That's how I feel about, you know. I mean, I already know that day is coming with Michael Parsons. He gonna stay. Like,
oh, he's staying in Dallas. He ain't going nowhere.
You gonna stay there in Pressure World and Jerry Jones? It seems like every time a player is set free from Dallas, they get a breath of fresh air.
They do, but they like it out there. They love Dallas. And, I'm not mad at them.
His contract up till 26. His contract getting up till 26.
Who?
Myles Garrett.
Oh, really?
Yeesh.
All right, but all his guaranteed money's probably gone.
Well, that sucks. He's
he's probably gonna want to re-up after this season.
Unrestricted free agent in 2027. That sucks.
Yeah, he's gonna probably restructure.
Restructure his way
or
out.
ask for a trade if he don't see nothing going. Because Deshaun Watson, they ain't going nowhere with Deshaun Watson, man. It's over.
Yeah, he'll be a 49er.
He probably will. Myles Garrett probably will be a 49er. I can see that too.
That's what they do. They pursue players like that, defensive ends and all that stuff late. They usually do.
If they were smart, it'd be somebody like Jacksonville who needs a pass rusher. Go trade that number 1 pick and go get Myles Garrett. Because that's what you need. If you're not going to get Travis Hunter, get a pass rusher.
Do something. You do something down there. Peterson still got a job? How? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know.
I guess he's just waiting until the season ends. Then they're gonna have
maybe they're classy and they're like, we're not gonna fire you within season. We're gonna wait. Might as well. Trevor Lawrence out for the season.
I low key hope Nagy apply for one of these other jobs when we get a new OC.
Why y'all be dumping on Nagy like that, man? Nagy don't be calling the plays, man. That's Andy Reid.
I know it's Andy Reid, but you want a coach, man, that just know how to put a fire in somebody's butt. I just don't see it.
Now that you're not gonna give him Nagy. Nagy is he wants to be one of the guys.
It's like he's like
good job, Pat. Good job. That's for him. Good job, Pat.
He's like the Ward Cleaver of the Chiefs.
Ward Cleaver, Jesus.
It's okay, Beaver. We'll let it go. Like, what? You don't get in his butt for that?
Wasn't that? It be enemy? Firestone and brimstone on Mahomes when he threw it.
I didn't mind it. You know, again, it's like it seemed like there was more accountability with it. You know, that's just what it seemed like. But you know, I mean, Andy gonna be Andy. It sucks the enemy got fired, but hey, I mean, you all know what UCLA was expecting.
Well, I think he was just because they said he was just there to help out Deshaun Foster. They was already mutually understood that he was leaving after this year anyway, so he wanted to come back to the NFL. So
you can go where?
He's not gonna be a head coach. That's definitely what he's not.
That's what I'm saying. Go where?
I don't know. I don't know. He's not gonna be a head coach, no. And he probably won't be an OC either.
Running backs coach.
I can't even watch the enemy anymore. Something has to be wrong with him. I just think people can't handle his type of coaching anymore. Like the cultures have changed in sports. It's not what it used to be. The only reason why it worked in Kansas City is because you have Andy Reid, the overseer, who can kind of reel it in if he needed to reel it in. You know what I'm saying? He could
balance.
he knew how to balance it out between him and Bieniemy to where, Pat was cool with that. And then, Pat probably needed something like that. Like, when you got guys who are gifted like that, you need somebody to bring them down a little bit and humble them a little bit. So I think he was kind of the voice of reason in a weird kind of way, even though he was screaming at him. He's probably like a voice of reason for Patrick and Travis Kelce and a Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys are so great at what they do, and they probably got everybody in their face telling them how great they are. You need somebody. Not to say that Andy doesn't do that, because they'll tell you Andy don't play either, though. You get on his bad side, he gonna cuss you out too. But
it's just the last of the no nonsense coaches was Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have and this is a league wide. Actually, this is just no matter what it is. I don't care if it's sports, entertainment. We're about feelings now. So we have to cater to your feelings, and we can't say this and we can't say that, and we have to be all powder puff about it and blah blah blah. And get it again next time, guys. It's okay. We can't be
that too, but it's also like you got to understand, like, some of these guys are 5-star, 4-star recruits. So all their lives they've been told how great they were. The head coach made them, put them above the team. Then they go to college, and the same difference. The coach puts them above the team, and they've been told great. Then they get to the NFL where everybody is really good. Even the guy who sucks, he's actually really good. Like, he's part of the 1%, but he's just amongst others that's part of the 1% that makes him look bad. So,
I mean, it's starting to balance out though a little bit, because we always talk about the SEC has always pretty much been the preparation.
NILs have messed it up, but NILs have evened everything out because
but it's been consistent. You can almost get anything in the SEC. You still get your old line basically up north in Wisconsin.
You can, but you know what's different now with the SEC? You know what made the SEC? It wasn't so much that they was getting the 5-star recruits and they were starting. It was because they had depth. They don't have depth no more, because why would I want to sit behind this dude when I'm getting $3 million to go play quarterback over here or play linebacker over here?
At North Dakota, Dakota Butt Crack University. Nobody heard of y'all.
And guess what? I could play great for one season over here and then transfer to your school and take over.
The Bo Nix plan.
I don't have to sit for a year now. I could go transfer into the portal and go to whatever school I want to go
to. That's why a lot of even these top tier quarterbacks, they were going on, especially, it seemed like everybody was on that path to Oregon, because Bo Nix, he started at Auburn and he made his way up to Oregon. The dude from that's up there in Oregon now started at
Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, he went from Oklahoma.
Yeah. He made his way up to Oregon himself. I'm just wondering who the next quarterback is going to be making their way up there. It better not be. I know it ain't him because Rayola ain't that good, but I'm just waiting to see who's the next one that's on their way up there.
It's probably the kid from USC. I wouldn't be surprised Miller Moss.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I can see him going to Oregon. I can see him going. I wouldn't mind him coming to UNLV, but we ain't got a head coach right now. So. But I wouldn't mind him going to the 2 either.
It was going to happen too. I'm like, we got hope in the next couple of years in this coach. Coach leave. What?
I kind of figured it was going to happen when they didn't say nothing about a deal or re-signing him. I just knew. If I'm UNLV, I try to get that offensive coordinator as the head coach. Yeah. Try to keep some type of continuity. Because he can score. With his offense, quarterbacks can flourish in there. Haj Malik, he came in and had a really good season. You know what I'm saying? So they just need a quarterback.
It's gonna be that Manning boy that somehow make his way to Oregon for whatever reason.
To my Arch. No, Arch is staying. He's
staying. Texas. He make his way to Oregon. Okay.
He's staying. He's staying. He ain't going nowhere. They getting too many good players over there. If he was gonna leave, he should have left this year. If he was gonna leave, he should have left this year. He could have started. Arch Manning could have started anywhere if he wanted to. Let's just be real.
The name says it all, Manning. You get a pass.
You don't think Michigan would have been like, yeah, man, come start for us. We need a quarterback. We suck.
still managed to beat Ohio State. That's a joke.
Yeah, that's terrible.
To me.
Ohio State, how y'all let a team with no quarterback beat y'all? You can't throw 5 yards down the field.
Can't throw a pine cone down the field and got beat at home. And then you want to get back. Actually, you know what? That's another thing I wanted to pick on this show, too. I have no issue with the flag planting at all.
No?
And shame on Ohio State. Shame on them. They can't be planting the flag on our field. Well, then you should have played the other 60 minutes, prevent the flag planting to happen on your field. I had no issue with it. All these other schools, Arizona State doing it to Arizona State doing it to Arizona. I had no issue with it. That's the one good thing that came out of Baker Mayfield out of college. I have no issue about that. So shout out to all the flag planners and all that stuff.
Didn't North Carolina do the NC State?
Yeah, they did too. I thought it was funny. I was like, this is great. And then it carried on to the NFL, which breed after that clown getting that late hit. But I thought the flag planting was fun. I mean, I think personally, you should be automatically, they should have a right to do that. They're disrespecting our field. You disrespected about having a loss.
Especially losing it to Michigan.
You couldn't beat them twice within 4 years of the tenure that you were there. That's your fault.
Harbaugh ain't even there no more.
They never won in the 4 years. A whole graduating class could not beat Michigan. What does that say? There was no victory parties. There was no college parties. You know how terrible that is in that rivalry? I'm pretty sure they have beer kegs and all unused.
Oh, they used it. Don't get into it. Oh, they used it. They were depressed. They used it. They used them. They was depressed. They was crying, but they used it. They drunk all that.
We can't do that on our field. You should have won. And everything he was saying was accurate too. He said, well, then you should have been focused and putting more energy within the 60 minutes and after when the game was over. It's your problem. I have no issue with that. Keep the flag planting. I have no issue with it at all. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny too. Hey man, it's college sports, man. That's what we love college football for. For the rivalries, man.
It's great. Then exchange of the university canon and all that stuff is great. It's fun. It's funny to me.
That's why people NFL is different because it's not really that many rivalries. I mean, there's rivalries, but they're not like college football,
right?
Because so many players get traded, they leave.
But finally, we can get the UNLV can get respect from Reno. Talking about instead of getting they being called the University of not a lot of victories, now they're getting them.
Yeah,
the joke's on you.
They're in the LA Bowl against Cal this week.
What bowl did they get?
LA Bowl. They play Cal in LA.
Yeah, LA Bowl.
Mm-hmm. They may look, man. They got the Pop-Tart Bowl this year, so they gonna have an LA Bowl.
Man, they got the goofiest names for bowl games.
They got a Las Vegas Bowl.
Well, Las Vegas Bowl. I mean, that's been around for a long time. I get that, but they be having some. I've been knowing about the Cheez-It Bowl. I've been knowing about the Pop-Tart Bowl. We have the Kibbles and Bits Bowl and the Nose Picker Bowl. This is getting ridiculous. Really? These people that be getting sponsors, like we can't get some better, more credible sponsors, something like that. I
think the Las Vegas Bowl is USC and Texas A&M.
That's not bad.
Is it Texas A&M? I think it's Texas A&M.
That ain't bad. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Don't quote me on that.
Somebody trying to give away tickets to a Raider game. I might just go just to cheer for the other team.
Who they play?
You're right. It's SC versus Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw.
You're right.
Yeah, but yeah, we play. I think it's Wednesday. The LA Bowl. I think it's Wednesday. UNLV plays now. Tomorrow. I mean, my bad.
Already?
Yeah. Is it tomorrow? No, it's next week. I'm tripping. It's next week. I think it's
almost said you getting them out the way quick.
Hold on, let me see.
College bowl game. No, not Las Vegas College Bowl. Let me see.
LA Bowl.
The LA Bowl. Who's hosting it? UCLA Stadium or something?
It's at SoFi.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's at SoFi.
I mean, it makes sense. They've been playing in a regular NFL stadium all year. They might as well.
Yeah, it's next week. It's next week. Next Wednesday, I think. Yeah.
They just didn't carry the losing curse of the Raiders with them.
Or next Wednesday is the LA Bowl. Because Gronk is hosting it.
Gronk is hosting the bowl game?
Yeah, Gronk is hosting it.
I don't even know if I can take it serious.
Oh, man.
Gronk is special. But he was telling he Hall of Famer, though. I ain't mad at it, though.
Oh, most definitely. First ballot.
He a Hall of Famer. Who on the ballot for next year?
There's quite a few people. You know who's getting in, though, who probably shouldn't deserve to get in?
Who?
Eli.
Because the honorary statement going to be because he beat Brady twice. He prevented him from getting what? 9 technically?
Yeah. He beat Brady twice, and he's a Manning. That's why he's getting in. Because his regular seasons are terrible. He had a season where he led the league in interceptions.
I mean, people wanted him on the bench like at least some part of the year, every single year.
He wasn't that good.
At least. I mean, that was always up for discussion. Does he get in? And I was more numb to it. Like,
but the thing about Eli was, it was like if you got him in the playoffs for some reason, he would turn it on in the playoffs.
But the funny part about it is that he had nowhere the same success as his brother, but still ended up with the same number of rings. So I'm like, how does that happen?
And beat the one guy that he couldn't beat.
You can't make this up. I'm like, how does that happen? I'm like, Peyton Manning.
Now the first Super Bowl was kind of flukish, with the helmet catch. That was kind of flukish. Like they should have won that game. But the second one, Eli won that game with that pass to Mario Manning. I remember that.
All it takes is just one. All it took is one. That's all it took. I mean, that dude.
He won that game. But yeah, it is.
I mean, the fact that he won 2 made me feel bad for only one, maybe 2 players on the Bills, like Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly.
Bruce Smith too.
What's that?
Bruce Smith.
Oh yeah, him too.
Bruce Smith too. Andre Reed. I feel bad for Andre Reed because Andre Reed, one of them games, he was having the game of his life, and the kicker, man, he just them damn kickers, man.
I don't know if it's worse than that Minnesota team though, was the choke to the Falcons. So I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, that 15. What day wasn't they 15-1?
And lost to the Falcons.
Was that team? That team was that the one with Randall Cunningham, or was that one? That was Randall, right?
I think so. They were stacked though. That was when they had
Randy Moss, Chris Carter. I think Jake Reed was it Jake Reed?
Might have been. They had what's his name?
Was it Robert Smith in the back?
Yep. They were loaded.
Yeah.
I had a Moss. I had a Moss jersey.
Yeah, that team was crazy.
That was loaded.
Crazy. They should have won that game.
That was more exciting. They're like the one that went undefeated and choked to the Giants. That's just crazy. I'm like,
that team was loaded though, Mark. Gronk, Wes Welker, Randy Moss.
That's sad for Moss to be on both those powerhouse teams.
Hey, you can't get a Super Bowl. Damn, man.
Sucks.
Damn, man.
Can't be an honorary coach or something like that. An honorary wide receivers coach.
I'll get a ring real quick. I don't think he won it that way. I don't think he won it that way.
Shout out to Randy Moss, man. He should have been got one and got snubbed.
He did. Oh well.
Oh, Chiefs got ours. We ain't tripping.
Right.
Tony Gonzalez should have been got one too, but no. Cheers on.
You mean that Falcons player? No, just player.
Yeah, try to go over to a better team. It didn't work out that way either.
I wasn't mad at him for going to the Falcons though. The Chiefs they was in rebuild mode like a mug.
Situation was terrible.
Yeah, I remember that too, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. Morton Anderson too.
At least he didn't kill the the mascot like the Bears kicker did. I thought that was the funniest thing I ever seen too. When that Bears kicker missed that field goal and the way that mascot fell, you thought somebody shot him in the middle of the game.
The Bears are terrible, man.
Well, the Bears screwed themselves up by not getting a coach from the jump. That was their fault.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they kept Eberflus. Yes, I get it. He did have that defense, rolling last year, and he is a good defensive coordinator. He's just not a good head coach.
You fixed the tires, but didn't replace the driver. That's basically how you do it.
And then you hire an OC where, if you did your research, the Seattle players was complaining about Shane Waldron. All it takes is a little bit of research. Just go to Seattle. Just go to Seattle. Hey, give a call. Hey, what's up with this Shane Waldron kid? Yeah, the players didn't really care for him. Okay, cool. Yeah, you don't have the job, sir.
Right. They ain't got no NFL glass door or something like that.
Say what you want. You should have won got Cliff. You see what he doing up there with Jaden Daniels? You should have got Cliff Kingsbury, man.
Mm-hmm.
He knows Caleb Williams. He just got through coaching him at USC. He knows the plays to call for this kid. And you went and got Shane Waldron. What you better do, y'all better hope y'all hire like a Ben Johnson from Detroit. Get somebody like him.
If I'm Ben Johnson,
Ben got some choices now. Do I want to go coach Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, or do I want to go to a situation where I get my own quarterback, like the Raiders?
If I'm Ben Johnson,
or if the Giants get rid of Dayball, the Giants.
If I'm Ben Johnson, Aaron Rodgers retires. He goes to the Jets. You get the quarterback you want. You still got that defensive attack, but you just got to get the right defensive coordinator, because that's where they screwed up. They let basically the coach go who had that defense right, because they let Aaron Rodgers run the team who should have never been there in the first place. At all.
I will say this. Aaron Rodgers had the best game of his life last week. Which says this to say, and I said this on the show yesterday, Aaron Rodgers, go to a warm weather team. It looks like cold weather. Either retire or go to a dome team where you could be nice and insulated and you could actually throw the football down the field, sir.
He just need to go. He just need to ride off to the sunset, because it's just I just don't see it. I don't.
He needs to, but I know he's not, because his ego is not going to allow him to.
It's just not good for team chemistry. He hasn't proven himself to do anything in the playoffs. I just don't see it. I just don't. Just take the boot, take a hike. Thank you for your services. You're out of here. That's what we need to do. And then Devontae Adams, I don't know if he re-signed or whatever. Let that be a lesson learned.
You can sign we'll sign Devontae for a 1-year deal.
With a different quarterback.
I'll sign him to a 1-year deal. He can come to Kansas City on a 1-year cheat deal.
He ain't coming here. Yeah, right. He ain't coming here. Ain't no way.
On a 1-year deal.
They'll re-sign Hollywood or somebody else for that happens.
I wouldn't be surprised if they sign Hollywood and D-Hop back.
Quest for 4 if it happens.
And because Rashee Rice probably won't be back till about week 10.
No, sooner than that, because he got hurt early in the season.
But I'm saying the suspension is probably coming.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Dang it, man! I forgot all about that.
Yeah, the suspension is coming in. He's probably gonna get about 8 games.
I totally forgot about that. That's sad.
So they're gonna have to cover their base, whether they bring back Hollywood, bring back D-Hop, bring back both of them, or if they go draft a guy in the first 3 rounds or whatever, they're gonna have to get somebody.
Well, Veach will find somebody that went to Kent State, and somebody we never heard of, and then he has State or Toledo, or he good for that. He good for that. Court continuation school. He good enough. He'll figure it out. That's what he is.
Hopefully Luther Burden just drops in the draft. We get him. You're right.
You never know.
Luther Bird name driving to 31. He gonna be gone.
He ain't dropping that far, but
he gone. Oh, shout out to KU too. That's another thing. Hey KU, how
I
you
knew that was
doing, man?
coming.
Shout out to KU, man. Y'all talking
I knew
all
that was
trash.
coming.
Talking all that trash all week, and y'all went out there and got y'all asses whooped.
I seen that all down the timeline. It was number KU and Mizzou. That's all it was. I'm like, did I join a KU or Mizzou page or something?
They got their asses whooped.
I saw it going right down the line.
Shout
Jody
out to
was calling people out. I'm like, jeez.
Shout out to Carrot. He was laughing all in the what's her name's face all day on the radio.
I love the rivalries. I love it though. I love it.
That was some good stuff right there. But yeah, man. But
is it time to end this thing?
Yeah, it's going to land it.
Make our way to Cleveland.
Yeah, man.
Land.
Let's get this dub. We'll
side note.
13-1. 13-1.
You said what?
We'll be 13-1 if we win this game. Rock
yeah. But you know
Sorry,
what?
Sorry, Nani. I know it was painful on Saturday.
But you know what? When I went down to Baltimore down there for Thanksgiving stuff like that, just got kind of peeping the environment. I'll tell you, it was pretty funny because you saw a lot more Eagle fans out there. The very next day, it was pretty quiet. It was almost like I said a cuss word. I'm like, cause I'm sitting there looking at some lights, and I'm sitting looking at the scores. I'm sitting there like, oh, like the Ravens lost, and I almost forgot where I was. I saw people with Ravens beanies. I'm like, oh,
that's what
that sucks. Yes, but you know what? I might have to entertain going to a Chiefs game out there in Baltimore one day.
Yeah,
I might have to. It was cool. It was cool being out there.
I'm sure the food was good.
Yeah, I mean they definitely known for their crab cakes for real. Went up there.
Their seafood probably bomb.
It is.
I got a cat I work with. He from Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. That was my first time out there to the East Coast, so I mean there'll be a lot more trips out there.
Yeah,
it was fun. I enjoyed myself.
That's cool. I need to make my way to Baltimore, Washington D.C., New York. I ain't been to New York.
We gotta do a road trip. We gotta do a road trip. For the KC one of these games. What division they play next year?
I think they play the NFC East next year. I think. I don't know. I had to look it up.
They did. I wouldn't mind going down to Dallas just to amuse myself.
I do want to go to Dallas. I do want to go to Jerry World.
I really wouldn't mind just to go down there just for the experience.
Chiefs 2025 opponents. Let's see.
Yeah, they got the NFC East. At Jacksonville versus Houston to be determined.
Yeah.
At the Giants. At Tennessee.
And they're at Dallas. So
yeah, Dallas it is. Watch that be the Thanksgiving game.
That would be funny.
In all seriousness, I can see it too.
Them tickets would be expensive too.
Yep, never mind. If that's the Thanksgiving game, no thanks.
Yep, I'm not trying to be eating turkey and watching the football game. Although I could go out there and visit my pops.
You out there now?
Yeah, we live in Dallas now.
All right. Gotta tell me what's up.
Mm-hmm. I definitely will. All right, man. If y'all look down at the bottom, you see the link emqpodcast.com/locker-room. If you go to that link, you see the locker room access of all the podcasts under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella. They got a 49ers one, they got a Patriots one, they got a Jets one, and they got ours every morning. All right, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Click on the banner. You see all of our episodes from the recent to the past ones. Also, go to their YouTube channel. You check out their podcast. They talk about everything NFL league wide. Talk about college football too, and they give you betting tips for the week. So go ahead and subscribe to those brothers over there at Every Morning Quarterback. Shout out to them.
EMQ.
Also, whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, X, uh, Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, all of those platforms, whatever you listen to your podcast on, go to those platforms. Also, if you're first time watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live on Tuesdays, we go live various different times on Tuesdays, depending on, if I have a guest or if it's just me and Mark and Clarence. Clarence will be back next week, by the way. Yeah, just subscribe to us, man, and tap in with us, man, when we come on, man. You'll always get a notification on our social media page with time we coming on, usually the day before or the day of. So yeah, man, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, subscribe. We guaranteed the playoffs, so we got at least a week or two.
For real. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, whatever you use to do your social media on, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is available at that right above Mark AH Chief Podcast. Go ahead and follow us. We'll follow you back because we're not Hollywood. We're Hollywood. Joe was here to do his damn job. But no, shout out to Joe. But yeah, but go ahead and follow us. If you have critiques, feedback, or if you have a question or topic that's Chiefs related or NFL related that you want us to bring up on the show, we will, and we like it, we'll bring it up. We'll shout you out on the show because we want to show love to those to show love to those who show love to us. I can't speak today. But go ahead and follow us, man, and hit us up via DM, email, or our mentions. And yeah, man, we will get back to you expeditiously.
Shout out to Brian, Nani, and Sam today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're on Blue Sky too. We are on Blue Sky.
Who?
You ain't never heard of Blue Sky?
What?
It's like it's pretty much X, but it's like peaceful.
Man, Blue Sky, Red Rocks, jeez, on everything.
Blue Sky.
Green sidewalk next week.
It's like Twitter X, but it's peaceful over there. There's no
drama. Yeah,
no drama. There's no smut.
I'm about to check it out.
Good people over there. For now, until the corruption comes.
I mean, you ain't got a choice. The logo's a butterfly, so I just can't see. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same app. It's just peaceful over there. It's all it is. It's nice. It's peaceful. I go over there to get peace and talk. Just regular conversations over there. That's it.
Good to know.
So yeah, check it out, man. Check it out.
Blue Sky.
Everybody went over there once, they were all the black people were supposed to go over there because, the whole Elon Musk Trump situation. But anyway, but Negroes wasn't leaving X. Yeah, full of never mind. Also, don't forget to get your Arrowhead Chief Podcast Let's Three-Peat History t-shirts. Don't get your shirts, man. We on all of our social media platforms, man. Get you a shirt, man. You know what I'm saying? So you can support us, man. $25 plus shipping, it makes it $29. You know what I'm saying? And get you a shirt. It could be a good Christmas gift for your family, your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Christmas gift or Christmas prank?
That's crazy. We got red, gray, black, and white. So go check it out. And we got hoodies coming soon too. So
we got hoodies
coming soon. Coming soon.
Right. I need one.
Yeah, coming soon.
I need a hoodie.
I just tested it. I guess I got to test this one I'm about to get and see how it looks.
No, I need one. I need one. I got this dude that pulled up in this Dallas Cowboy car. I can't stand it.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's coming soon. Actually, I can order you one now if you want. We can talk about it.
Show it to me, and then I'll take a look at it.
All right, for sure. All right, good people. Until next week, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy another W with Chiefs and going off to 13-1. We are out.
We out. Go Chiefs.